Taurus, welcome to your mid-year check-in. So I did this reading for the first time for all of 2025, and now this is the mid-year check-in. So this reading is going to be late June all the way through the end of the year, and I'm going to do a tarot reading for each of the astrology houses. This touches on all the areas of your life. And so the way it's structured, I'm going to go through and talk about the houses and then do the reading for that house. So the first one up, first house, it's your house of self. And so this is the physical body. This is how people perceive you. It's everything that they can see with their eyes. This is, it's your physical self. There's other pieces that are connected to your mental self. And for some reason, I really want to say the word vitality. And so it is your vitality. Taurus is most likely your sun sign. And so it really is around just what you need in your life. And so let's dive into it. Obviously, it's in your sign. It's in the sign of Taurus. I will mention all the different signs too as we go along. So let's get the overall theme for you in the second half of the year as it relates to your first house of self. So I'm getting the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is a lot of stability, a lot of taking some sort of action to create stability in your life. Almost building something new. Page energy can be that kind of newer, immature type of energy. I'm getting more newer than anything else. I'm also getting the Ace of Pentacles here. So Ace of Pentacles, building something stable. It is a new beginning. Things are really opening up. I'm just getting the sense that whatever's been closing out, it's been making room for you to build something more grounded, more stable, and with the Page of Cups in alignment with what you want and what you value. I love the three of these together because this is all new beginning, fresh energy cards. So whatever it is that you're doing, keep going, keep going. Let's get the obstacles and challenges for your first house. So I'm getting Temperance energy, Sagittarius. This is emotional balance. I'm also getting a lot of optimism around the future. It might be hard because of all the change that we've all been going through. It might be really hard to focus on the positive and just stay in that energy. But this is really encouraging you to find emotional balance. That might be difficult during this time. I am getting at the Five of Swords. There might be an internal conflict or some sort of external conflict that might keep you out of balance. So this is more of that cautionary heads up. This might be happening. I'm also getting the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is that student type of energy. And so taking things slow, you're an earth sign, you're going to want to go slow anyway. But the Knight of Pentacles is come up with a plan. Really figure out exactly what it is that you want to do. Don't embody the Page energy of just acting immaturely. It's really about, okay, let me create something now so that it's available to me over time, that it's not something that crumbles the next tower or creates a tower moment or any of that. So let's get the advice here for you in the first house. So what I'm getting here is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence. It's about you creating your own abundance. And so when it comes to your first house, just keep whatever goals that you've set in mind, because you go from the Ace to the Nine. So whatever it is that you're trying to do is absolutely, it's possible. Three of Pentacles, it looks like enlisting the aid of another person, working together with somebody else here. Teamwork, collaboration, definitely being highlighted here with that Three of Pentacles. I'm also getting the King of Cups. King of Cups, a lot of emotional maturity. And so emotional maturity, emotional intelligence, it's a lot of this kind of theme broken down. And so the more that you focus on your own balance, focus on prioritizing your goals, those long-term goals that you're setting for yourself, you're going to be able to overcome the challenges that show up here in the first house. And so while I shuffle, I'll talk about the second house here. So the next house up is the house of, think of it as your personal money. This would be what you have in your bank accounts, investment accounts, whatever the case may be, even anything that you own of monetary value. It's your assets. Anything here in that second house. Even beyond that, it's what you love and value is also part of that second house energy. For you, this is in the sign of Gemini. This may or may not line up exactly with your chart, so it depends on what house system you're using. I'm using whole signs to talk about this. It's easier. Second house here, Gemini. So Gemini is it's an air sign. Gemini is very intellectual, likes to know all the details. So when it comes to your personal finances, Gemini is going to get into the weeds and it's going to ask all the questions. It's that, I always kind of refer to it as that toddler that asks why a million times, because that's what they want to know. They want to know that level of detail. So when you're making the decisions relative to your finances, you have all that information. So let's get your overall theme for your personal finances. So right away, Queen of Pentacles, your energy coming through. You can ignore the gender. It's about the energy. So that Queen of Pentacles indicates a lot of stability in your finances. Chariot, a lot of success, forward movement. This tells me you're going to have steady growth in your finances in the second half of the year. And with the emotional balance, this is kind of in alignment with what you've been trying to achieve anyway. It's that slow growth over time to achieve whatever goals that you've set for yourself. So I love the way that your finances are coming out. Let's get any blocks or barriers, obstacles, challenges, call it whatever you want. These would be the issues relative to your finances. What I'm getting here is the Magician energy. So the Magician's a trickster. And I don't usually get it in that way, but that is kind of the downside of the Magician. It's illusion. So there might be some details that you need to dig into when it comes to your finances. Or you just need to get clear on exactly what it is that you want. Because the Magician, with that illusion energy and the King of Cups here, feels like you might be a little bit back and forth or just not entirely clear on whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. You may know from a broad sense, but really leaning into some sort of emotional balance or maturity in order to figure out exactly what it is that you need. And then I've got the Strength card showing up. So taking some sort of action, finding some sort of courage. If your goals and dreams are really to have big expansive growth in your finances, you might need to take a risk here. And that's showing up. That could be one way that this is showing up here in the obstacles and challenges. Let's get your advice here for your finances. What is going to be in your best interest? So with the King of Pentacles coming out, it's about focusing on your long-term stability. What is going to be in your best interest here in the long run? That's what the universe is saying. Focus on that. Five of Swords, resolving some sort of inner conflict. This might be a head and heart conflict, the way the energy is coming across here. Nine of Cups is also coming across. Again, focusing on your goals and dreams. It's not about the pace at which you go. It's about ultimately where are you trying to go. Get clarity on that. That's going to help you figure out what steps you need to take. And if you need to kind of act a little bit differently, take some sort of risk here with that Strength card, finding the courage, feels like it could be worth it with this showing up here. It's the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords indicates some sort of conflict. So it may not go exactly the way that you plan, but ultimately with the King of Pentacles and that Nine of Cups, you're aiming in a specific direction. You have a specific target in mind, so keep working towards it. So the next house here is the third house, which is the house of communication. It's siblings, short distance travel, neighbors, just kind of your immediate surroundings. Anything within like a very short distance. Short distance travel would mean something here by car. By plane is a different house. For you, this is in the sign of Cancer. And so Cancer is a very loving, nurturing energy. Out of all the zodiac signs, it's the most emotional. So there's a lot of depths of emotion. So the way that you communicate might be in a very loving, nurturing, motherly type of way. It could also indicate here that when it comes to family, if you are somebody with siblings, you might be somebody who kind of nurtures your siblings or kind of mothers them in some sort of way. And it doesn't matter about the gender. It's more about that nurturing energy that I'm picking up on. So let's dig in and get your overall theme for the third house. So I'm getting the Strength card, Leo energy showing up here. So when it comes to communication, you might be speaking in a way that is very different than what people are expecting from you, different than ways you would have communicated in the past. The Empress is showing up here. So the Empress is Venus energy. Venus rules your sign. And this one here indicates whatever your communication is, it's meant to bring people together. It's not meant to create any kind of rift or anything like that. There is a lot of harmony and balance. Because Venus does rule relationships, it's all relationships. So the way that you're communicating and understanding information is really through the lens of, let's bring everybody together. Let's find that peace and harmony within the connections. Hanged Man is showing up here as well. And the Hanged Man is seeing things from a different perspective. Part of your communication is understanding other people's points of view. There's something that feels like it's opening up with you as far as communication and the way that you communicate with others. The awareness is coming through with the Strength card, and it's being solidified with the Empress and the Hanged Man, where you are trying to understand, if you communicate it one way, how do people respond? If you communicate it a different way, how do people respond? Because the goal here is really to bring people together, create more harmony in your life, and understanding how you're perceived by other people goes a long way. I'm also getting the Page of Wands, and so using that information to your advantage, take some sort of action against it. Let's get any obstacles and challenges here in your third house, in your house of communication. One more. So what I'm getting here is the Four of Swords. So maybe some sort of break. This is kind of you removing yourself from a situation to rest, recover, but it really feels like it's taking the time that you need in order to understand somebody else's point of view. So rather than acting in the moment and either overreacting or underreacting to a situation, the challenge here is going to be reminding yourself to take a step back, really try to see it from the other person's point of view. I'm getting the Three of Wands here, and so that is a card of patience. King of Pentacles, focused here on your stability. So when it comes to the way that you're communicating with other people, ultimately you want to have those meaningful relationships. And so taking the step back feels like it's the big challenge here, reminding yourself to do that, not just respond immediately with the first thing that comes to your mind, because you may not be saying things in the way that you want to say them or in a way that would be most conducive to moving the relationship forward. I'm also getting the Ace of Wands here. And so taking action against this kind of pause to understand the other person's point of view, very similar to that Page of Wands energy. So let's get the advice here for your communication. So I'm getting the Chariot energy, Cancer energy showing up here. So really lean into having those successful relationships. Understanding a lot of it, how people are understanding you and perceiving the situation, and just the way that you respond, it's going to be a big part of this. But the Chariot also indicates moving forward. I'm getting the Death card, Scorpio energy, so change and transformation. So allowing for endings and new beginnings. An old way of communicating versus a new way of communicating that absolutely feels like it's coming through in your reading. Nine of Wands, I'm getting a lot of breaking down your barriers, not keeping people at arm's length. Now, if it's a Four of Swords where you just need to take a step back because the argument got really heated and you're just taking that pause to respond in a way that you intend, that's one thing. This would be keeping people at arm's length, not letting anybody in because you're trying to protect yourself. And so there's something around that here that also needs to change. And then I've got the Wheel of Fortune. And so it's positive growth and expansion. So keep focused on the future, because both the Chariot and the Wheel of Fortune are future-oriented cards. They're about moving things forward. So really keep that in mind. Take the lens of, when I communicate, I want this to succeed. So the next house here is the 4th house of home. And so the 4th house of home is a lot. It's a lot of things. It's the physical dwelling of where you live. It is your family life, your childhood. So think of everything connected to childhood, where you lived, what kind of environment was it. Anything here from an ancestral lineage is also part of that 4th house energy. Anything here that would have shaped you and kind of, shaped who you are. For you, this is in the sign of Leo. And Leo is a very bold, dynamic energy. Leo likes to be seen. And so there might be something where, when it comes to your home environment, you might find yourself more free to express yourself in a way that is bold and dynamic and even creative in some sort of sense. Something that feels like it's different than the way that you would communicate with people outside of your home environment here. So let's get the overall theme for your home. So when it comes to your home environment, I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune, which is growth, prosperity, it's expansion, it's Jupiter energy, it blesses everything that it touches. So really significant here. When it comes to your home and your home life, things are really looking up, or just even continuing to look up. Because I'm also getting your card here. And so I love that Hierophant energy. I'm actually getting a lot of kind of rest that takes place in your home environment, where you've set your home up in such a way that you're able to be yourself. You're able to express yourself that is completely you, without any kind of any awareness or any filtering that you might do in a public situation here. I'm also getting the Judgment card, which is that very clear decision, that also kind of rising up energy, that resurrection energy. And so something here about your home environment feels like it is moving in the right direction. I'm also getting the sense here that there was a period of time where things were not going the way that you wanted in a home environment, or maybe with your family in some sort of respect here. It is connected to where you are. So if your family is at a distance, then it's not applicable to them. This is really about where you live. But things are definitely improving here with that Wheel of Fortune. So let's get the obstacles or challenges. One more. I asked for one. I got two. So I'm getting the 8 of Cups here, which is about moving away from a situation. And so something here in your home environment does require you to walk away. The challenge here is in walking away. I'm getting at the 10 of Cups here. 10 of Cups, long-term emotional fulfillment. And ultimately, if this is what you're trying to achieve at home, which you may be, this is a card of family, especially if that Hierophant indicates some sort of marriage has taken place. I'm getting the sense here that moving in the direction of what you want, there seems to be something in the way here. I'm also getting at the Sun, which is hope and optimism and a positive path forward, but it's this Death card. It's the change and transformation coming through with the Scorpio energy. Something in your home environment does need to be modified. You need to let go of something in order to really move forward in a way that you want. I'm not getting a clear sense on what that is. So let's see what the advice is. Maybe it'll come out that way. I'm getting the Star here, so Aquarius energy. So when it comes to your home and your home environment, keep focusing on your goals. It's focusing on your goals and this balance here. Temperance energy showing up, Sagittarius energy, the Wheel of Fortune, that Jupiter energy does rule Sagittarius. And so really kind of focusing on the future, focusing on the optimism and the hope that you have, the dreams and the desires that you have, finding and maintaining that emotional balance. That's going to help you kind of walk away from whatever isn't working in your favor anymore towards what is, towards your own goals and dreams. I'm getting the Three of Pentacles. So it looks like building something here with another person. If you are married or in some sort of living together kind of situation, this would indicate really considering the other person's needs as well as your own. So as it comes to building and maintaining and growing this home environment for at least the two of you, keep focused on what goals that you have. I'm getting a lot of shared goals here. So keep that in mind. If it's something where you live alone, it really is focusing on building the life that you want, building the home environment that you want. Because I'm getting a sense here too, if let's say that you are single and you're actively looking, but have you structured your home environment in a way that doesn't allow for somebody else to kind of enter into the space? Kind of keep that in mind. I don't know how else to articulate that, but I keep getting that message. There's something about the way that you're structuring your space to align with your goals. If your goals are to eventually live with a person, like let's say that you are dating somebody and you want the person to move in eventually, is there space for that person to move in? Or are they just going to feel like a guest, a forever guest in your home? There's something about that. So the next house here it's the fifth house. This is the house of fun. So there's a lot within the fifth house. So short-term relationships, it's the house of sex and pleasure and your hobbies, all the things that you enjoy doing. It's also children. So if you have children or want children, that is highlighted here in the fifth house. For you, this is in the sign of Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. And with the Virgo energy, it is very practical, grounded, can be an overthinker. Virgo can be a big perfectionist. That is kind of one of the downsides here, kind of overthinking, not acting energy. So there's something that's happening here in your fifth house that you're actually being guided to let go of. Then the South Node is here. So the South Node is something that we need to release. Right now, the North Node is in Pisces, South Node is in Virgo until the middle of next year. So you're already in this space, you're already going through it. It's just more of that kind of energy. So let's see what we can get here for the second half of the year in your fifth house, your theme. So I'm getting the Ace of Swords, which is a lot of clarity coming through. So when it comes to letting go of something, this would be something that feels very comfortable to you. The Ace of Swords says, yeah, but you've gotten everything that you need out of that. You don't need to hold on to it anymore. You actually need to open up space for something new. That's what the Ace of Swords is saying. That's what the Ace of Swords is doing. It's a releasing energy based on the clarity that you have. Eight of Swords is also showing up here. In a lot of ways, this is the Virgo energy because this is that self-imposed prison of the mind. So thinking, even overthinking, very much a Virgo energy. But you have the clarity that you need. You're going to get the clarity that you need in the second half of the year and then work to release it. I'm also getting the Wheel of Fortune. So Wheel of Fortune is growth and expansion. You're making room for something new in your life. And then we've got the Seven of Pentacles. And so you're investing. So it's not just the clarity and the release that's taking place. You're also making room for something else. You're going to start investing in whatever you're making space for in your fifth house. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here. So right away, I get the Five of Wands, which is obstacles and challenges. And so there are obstacles and challenges in your fifth house, in that house of fun. The sun, there's something here that is blocking you from achieving the happiness that you want. Hierophant showing up here. Hierophant, spiritual union. This is also your card again. As it relates to you and in union with another person, it feels a lot like you're making space to either enter into a relationship or let it become more meaningful, making space for this person, making them more a significant person in your life. I'm getting the Knight of Wands, taking some sort of action here. And then I got the Tower showing up. So the Tower showing up as an obstacle or challenge actually is about removing them. It's giving you the clarity that you need so that you can work to release whatever is holding you back. Whatever this South Node says, let go of it. It's just not working for you anymore. You don't need to carry it around anymore. In fact, you need to make space for something else. And so that's what you're doing here. And so it feels like it's connected to a relationship. Let's get the advice here for you. One more. I'm getting the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is healing from some sort of heartbreak. This feels like what you need to let go of. There's something in your past. You've structured your life in a way that feels like you're protecting yourself, but this is the time to let it go because you're trying to make room for something else. There's no more room for this pain and this heartache. It's not something that's meant to stick around. Temperance, Sagittarius energy, focused on the future, but also emotional balance. The Star is showing up here, Aquarius energy. And so this is about your goals, your dreams, your wishes. So whatever it is that you're trying to make room for in your life, and it may not be a relationship specifically, it may be children that you're making space for, or some sort of hobby, something that you enjoy. Again, this is a house of pleasure and fun. So really think about where maybe you've structured things that are holding you back and not allowing you to really optimize or maximize any kind of potential. Six of Cups is also showing up here. And so Six of Cups is a card of children. This is also a card of nostalgia. So kind of reintroducing some sort of happiness into your life because it feels like it has been blocked here with that Three of Swords energy. So letting go of it, definitely in your best interest. The next house here is the sixth house. So the sixth house is daily routines. Think of everything that you do on a regular basis. Diet and exercise, your work-life balance, the things that you do regularly, like if you go to church every weekend, what it does not include are the one-off parties that you attend or throw. Anything along those lines would not be part of it. It's really just what do you do on a regular basis? For you, it's in the sign of Libra, which is a very balanced energy. So when it comes to your home life or your daily life, it's about creating a schedule or even your dietary needs, all of it that really just says harmony and balance. Focused on finding and maintaining some sort of balance here. So let's get the theme here for your sixth house. So what I'm getting here is the Five of Wands. It's obstacles and challenges showing up in your daily life. Four of Cups based on sadness and disappointment. Page of Swords. Ask the questions. There's something that you've done in your daily life. You've structured it in such a way that doesn't allow for any kind of progress to be made here. The Page of Swords is a very inquisitive energy. And so dig deep, ask yourself the questions, ask yourself, why did you do it this way? Or what are you trying to accomplish with this structure? I'm getting the sense here, there's something that needs to be modified and let go of. There's a fifth house, sixth house connection here. So let's dig in a little bit more and let's get the obstacles and challenges in your daily life. You are showing up all over this reading. So what I'm getting here in the obstacles and challenges is the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is a very nurturing, loving, supportive energy. And so you might have structured your life in such a way that doesn't allow for love in your life or isn't really conducive to that kind of relationship. You might be on the side of too much work, not enough free time, or too much work, too much in the hobbies or something like that, where you're just not available for more of what you need. I'm getting the Hanged Man here. And so the Hanged Man is pause or delay, seeing things from a different perspective, really understand holistically what's taking place here. This is the challenge. You're in your life. You're in the day-to-day details. This is saying, take a step back, really focus on what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish? Because there's something here that you're not seeing. And it would be a modification to the schedule that allows you to go after what you want or make time for what you want. Because I'm getting the Hierophant showing up here, which again, this is one of the marriage cards in tarot. It's a spiritual union. Even if it's just you aligning with the higher version of yourself, really spending the time that you need to focus on yourself and what your goals are. I'm getting the Six of Wands. And so whatever these obstacles are, you can overcome them. The Six of Wands, so defeats the Five of Wands, obstacles and challenges. So this is a card of success and victory. You will overcome it. Let's get the advice here. You have a lot of cards that want to come out. So what I'm getting is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is building something with another person. I love this. So really, if your goal here, because I was getting a very strong 5th and 6th house connection, if your goal here is to make room for a relationship in your life, then it does require some sort of reevaluation of your daily life, your routines, what you've established already. Where can you scale back? Where can you maybe allow maybe somebody to join you on some of the stuff? That Three of Pentacles is building something with another person. I'm getting the Star, Aquarius energy, focusing on your goals and your dreams. And then the Emperor, Aries energy coming through. This is a lot of stay focused, have a plan. It's Mars energy. It's the god of war. And so there's always a strategy involved. There's always a lot of information considered. This is also a leveling up energy, that kind of ascension energy. Take it from that high level point of view. Allow yourself to make those decisions and then stick to them. The Emperor is a my way or the highway. So when the Emperor decides, this is the strategy that I'm going to implement, that's it. There is no second guessing it. The next house here is the 7th house. The 7th house is, it's all about those one-to-one relationships. So if you're married, it's your marriage partner, it's contracts, negotiations. Business partners are also part of that, any kind of one-to-one relationship. For you, this is in the sign of Scorpio. So when it comes to your significant other, whether you're married or not married, your ideal person is somebody who is very passionate, very intense, driven, maybe even a little dramatic with that Scorpio energy, but definitely loyal. When this person decides to commit, they're committed. So digging into the 7th house. So let's get the theme. You're closing out a cycle. I have the 9 of Pentacles showing up. So the 9 of Pentacles, it is a card of independence. This would also indicate that maybe you're not married or you're just very focused on you creating your own abundance. So when it comes to your 7th house relationships, the idea here is growth and expansion. But I'm also getting the 9 of Wands. And so 9 of Wands is a wound. These are both nines. This is the completion of a cycle. So you're at the end of something here, maybe something connected to being single or connected to just focusing on yourself and your own abundance. There's something where you structured your life in such a way that didn't allow for anybody else to really have any kind of input around abundance. You took the lead here. I'm also getting the Fool card. So because of that cycle and because it's closing out, you have a new beginning that's showing up here. So as you're moving away and healing from some sort of wound in the past, that wound could have been a financial wound where you needed to prove to yourself what you were capable of achieving financially, maybe material success here, whatever the case may be. You're moving away from that energy. You're allowing yourself the opportunity to start something brand new with that Fool card. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here. So I'm getting the Chariot, which is forward movement. It's Cancer energy, so this is a card of success, but it's the forward movement that's really sticking out. I'm getting the Eight of Wands, more forward movement, open, honest conversation. And then the Six of Cups here. So maybe about children, maybe somebody here from the past. I'm just getting more, this feels like it's connected to a wound. This is about you moving forward, overcoming some sort of wound here in order to be able to go after what you want and being open about it, kind of just saying whatever it is that you're thinking and feeling. This doesn't feel like a major obstacle at all. It's just a matter of timing on this one. So let's get the advice here for you. So I'm getting that Emperor energy again, Aries coming through. So when it comes to your relationships, be very mindful of what you're doing. Come up with a plan, stick to it, really be that Emperor, stand in your own confidence. That's what that Nine of Pentacles is saying. You've already learned that lesson and now it's about implementing it. I'm getting the King of Wands, take some sort of action. Between the Emperor and the King of Wands, there's a lot of fire energy coming through. So whatever it is that's taking place here, the advice is to close out the last cycle, open up to a new beginning, really lean into this new beginning because I have the World and I have the Fool. The World is the closing of the cycle so that something new can begin. So that's the advice for your significant relationships here. The next house is the 8th house. So the 8th house is all about the money that you earn. So this would be the money that you get from an employer. This would also be any kind of debt that you pay out to other people, mortgage, car payments, things like that. It's inheritance, it's taxes, it's all that kind of money that you don't already have is part of that 8th house, including if you are married, it would be your spouse's income. There's also power and control that is part of that house. It is the house of death and rebirth. So a lot of change, a lot of transformation, also part of that 8th house energy. For you, it's in the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is all about growth and expansion. And so taking a risk here, being very adventurous. You might make money through like a higher education, or there might be travel involved in the way that you make money or the way that you receive money. Let's get the theme here for the 8th house. So what I'm getting here is the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles is about mastering something, financially mastering something. It could be in your work environment, something where you are very good at what you do, and it's about maximizing the potential here. 5 of Cups, needing to see things from a different perspective. And so there might be changes that are necessary. Take a look at your money coming in, your money going out. Where is there something here that maybe you can scale back? Because the 5 of Cups indicates that there might be a little bit more loss than what you're bringing in. So you're spending more than you're bringing in or something along those lines. But I'm also getting the Seven of Cups. So when it comes to your finances, you have options. When it comes to the changes that need to take place, you definitely have options here with that Seven of Cups. So let's get any kind of obstacles and challenges here in your 8th house. So I'm getting the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So a lot of protecting yourself, protecting your finances. You might have structured your finances in such a way that doesn't allow for a lot of movement here because you are kind of keeping things pretty close to yourself. You're not really opening up, sharing with other people. It's to protect yourself. Three of Wands is showing up here. And so the Three of Wands is a card of patience. And then the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning. And so the obstacles and challenges here are around some sort of restructure that needs to take place so that you can go after exactly what you want. Because that Ace of Cups says there's a new beginning showing up, but you're not really open to either spending on it or investing on it in it in some way. It's that Nine of Wands energy. Let's get the advice here. So I'm getting the Seven of Wands showing up, which is a resistance energy, but it's about fighting for what you want. It's resisting the old ways. There's a lot that's being broken down right now for you in these kind of external finances, in this house of death and rebirth. This here indicates fighting for what you want. Closing out the cycle with the World here. Six of Cups in favor of something that is going to be more fulfilling, more emotionally fulfilling. This is the card of nostalgia, this Six of Cups energy. So it may be connected to children. There might be something financially that needs to be restructured to make room for children or to pay for children or something along those lines. But I'm definitely getting the sense here that you've been kind of in this self-protective mode where you've structured your finances in a way that doesn't really allow for any kind of real growth to take place. It's more of almost like a hoarding. I'm going to hoard everything that I have and kind of focus on that. But what you're being encouraged to do is to let go of the old habits and patterns in favor of what it is that you're trying to accomplish here. Something that is going to create more happiness in your life. So the next house here is the 9th house. So the 9th house is all about growth and expansion. And that 9th house energy, so long distance travel, travel by plane, foreign countries, learning foreign languages. There's a lot that kind of sits in that house. Philosophy, anything that would expand your mind is part of that 9th house. For you, it's in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn is a very structured energy. It's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn likes to take things slow, likes to have a plan, do the work. So when it comes to growth and expansion, you're very methodical in your approach. You have a plan. So think higher education. You probably did all of your homework to identify what schools were going to be in your best interest, and then did all the necessary paperwork. And even as a student, put in the effort to get the degree and achieve the results that you wanted. So let's dig in and get the theme here for your house of growth and expansion. Okay. It feels like there's one more. Okay. So I'm getting the Six of Pentacles, which is a card of generosity. So when it comes to your growth and expansion, this is really where you want to spend your time. You're looking to grow beyond something. It might be connected to work. It might be connected to education or something financial with that Pentacles energy, but it's something that is meant to help you in the long run. I'm getting the Star, Aquarius energy. So your goals, your dreams, your wishes, all becoming reality. I'm getting the Five of Wands here. So obstacles and challenges. So there's something around obstacles and challenges preventing your growth that are showing up here. And it's because of this, the Death card. So change and transformation, Scorpio energy showing up. So something here needs to give in order for you to be able to go after it. If this is something financial, where maybe you want to go back to school or you have children that you want to pay for their education, this would be part of what is being highlighted here. I'm getting more in your sense than I am in any kind of children, but there's something around growth. And this could even be connected to travel. If you have plans to travel, but maybe it's about the way that you're saving money, and maybe then you look at the way that you're spending money. Something here needs to shift, because I'm definitely getting an 8th house, 9th house energy in your reading. Those two feel very highly connected. Let's get the obstacles and challenges in your 9th house. So the Two of Wands is showing up. It might be really hard to see way off in the distance what your goals are. So get clarity around the goals that you have for yourself as it relates to, could be traveling, higher education, anything here that would expand your mind. So like philosophy, religion, they're all part of this. Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is a balanced energy. So feeling like you're not very balanced, or because you're not clear, you're not balanced. We have 2 twos showing up here. So definitely have balance being highlighted. And then I've got the 10 of Wands. You need to close out a cycle. In order to be able to grow and expand, you have to release something here. It is this Death card that is really being highlighted. So you need to make room for something in your life, which requires the release of something. Something here that is preventing any kind of growth from taking place. I'm actually coming back to your 6th house. And so your 6th house of daily routines is also being highlighted. There's something where you need to make room for growth and expansion in your daily life. Let's get the advice here for you as it relates to that 9th house. Okay, this is pretty clear. So the 9 of Swords is showing up. It's stress, fear, anxiety. So if there's something here that is holding you back from expanding your mind, going after something that you really want, pay attention to it. And then the 6 of Swords says, move away from it. You need to let it go. This is part of the death and rebirth that's taking place. Something here mentally is holding you back from that growth and expansion. Letting it go is in your best interest. And I've got the World card here. Let the chapter close. Prepare yourself for a new beginning. So the next house here, we have the 10th house. So the 10th house is career and public reputation. So think of your career goals, leadership, public reputation. So how do other people perceive you in the work environment, maybe just even in general, public-wise? For you, it's in the sign of Aquarius. We are in the age of Aquarius. And so you may have been experiencing and will continue to experience some changes within your work environment. This could be related to AI, Aquarius, artificial intelligence, are very closely related. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, and Uranus is artificial intelligence. And so here in your career and public reputation, you might find yourself being more innovative or working more efficiently, using AI in whatever aspect makes the most sense to you. And so I'm just getting a lot of that kind of AI aspect to it. So let's get your theme for your career balance of the year. So I'm getting the Star card, which is Aquarius. Love to see this one. It's in that sign, but this is all about going after your goals, your dreams, your wishes. So keeping focused on what really matters to you in that sense. High Priestess, trusting your instincts. There's so much that's changing right now. You're not going to be able to find stability outside of yourself. This indicates find the stability within yourself. Know that you have the answers within you. So when it comes to anything in your career, the choices that you make, the direction that you're going, even the goals that you're setting, trust your instincts on this one. I'm also getting the King of Swords, because your mind will have some information. That's more Aquarius energy. You're going to get information here and you're going to be able to use that information, but through the filter of your intuition. Some of it's going to be relevant, some of it won't. Really trust your instincts here. I'm getting a lot of just going inside in the second half of the year because of all the change that's taking place, and gain the clarity that you need internally before you do anything externally. This is not a time for you to kind of act impulsively or anything like that. Really get clear so that you can figure out what your next steps need to be. Let's get the obstacles and challenges in your career. So I'm getting the Seven of Cups, which indicates a lack of clarity. You might have a lot of options, so really focus here, really focus. I'm getting the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of generosity. And so until you figure out the direction that you want to go, don't put your effort into anything, not yet. Not more than what you need to in order to sustain what you have. This is really connected to growth. And then I'm getting the Emperor here. And so Aries showing up again, that making a very clear decision and then acting on it, not backing down, that very willful, intentional decision and action energy. This is the block right now. It's the clarity that you need so you can move forward. Let's get the advice for you here in your career. So what I'm getting is the Moon card. The Moon is your emotions, trusting your instincts here. I don't know if something just picked up on camera, but I saw something in that back corner on camera. Okay, we're just going to ignore it. So that Moon, trusting your instincts here. It's all about your emotions. Six of Swords, use that as your guiding lens. Death card, Scorpio energy, change and transformation. Four of Pentacles, your stability. When it comes to your goals, focus on what you have and expanding what you have. It's not about taking any kind of step backward at this point. That Four of Pentacles says, nope, you're at baseline. Don't go below what you have now, and you don't need to. You don't need to, not with that Star card showing up here. Trust your instincts, lean into whatever is changing because it's changing for the better. So the next house here is the 11th house. So the 11th house, think of it as your tribe. So these are the people that you choose to be around, and it's you around a collective. It's you and your group of friends. We're in the sign of Pisces now, which is the North Node. And so Pisces it's a very intuitive energy, water sign, very compassionate, really thinks of other people. And so when it comes to your friends, you're very considerate in that way. You're considering the needs of all of your friends at the same time that you're considering yours. You're trying to, there's a big connection between all of you or among all of you that feels like it's being highlighted here. And that is in the North Node. So there's something here that you need to learn. There's a fated lesson that is part of it. That's what the North Node is, the eclipse seasons. It's all about these lessons that we're encouraged to learn. And so some of it is a release and some of it is a gain. And this is one where you need to learn the lesson in this lifetime. So let's get the theme here for your friends. Okay. North Node is coming through pretty loud and clear here. So I'm getting the Hermit energy. It's Virgo, a lot of internal reflection, but here's why. The Devil is showing up here. So the Devil is Capricorn. It's limitations and restrictions. How have your friendships been held back? You in connection with these other people, in what ways have things been stifled? Because that's coming through as a theme that needs to be addressed in order for you to have the relationships that you want. I've got the Star card showing up again, so that Aquarius energy. But the thing with the Aquarius energy, very similar to the 11th house, is the collective. Aquarius is very interested in the collective. And so when you have these goals with your friends, the tight-knit group, this is the kind of dynamics that I want to exist within the connection. This is really about, okay, well, what's holding us back? What is preventing that kind of connection from coming to fruition? So let's get the obstacles and challenges here. So I'm getting the Justice card, Libra energy, so balance. One of the issues here is balance. Seven of Swords, a truth. Secrets. I'm getting secrets with this energy. It can be lies, manipulation, and deceit, but it's really more about things being kept to themselves. And it feels like it's connected to the Devil energy. There's something where maybe you're not free to open up, or other people aren't free to open up around whatever's taking place in their lives, to really kind of lean on their tribe. This is something that is keeping the relationships out of alignment. I'm getting the Hierophant energy, so you're showing up here. You want harmony and balance. You want everybody to come together and be on the same page. In fact, Justice and Hierophant, so Libra and your sign Taurus, you're both ruled by Venus. And so that Venus likes harmony and balance, but there's this kind of inability to either be yourself or really open up. That could be you, that could be another person, or maybe a collective. But it's preventing any kind of balance within the connections. It's connected to the Devil, and something is structured in such a way that people don't feel like they can open up. So let's get the advice here for your friends. So the advice here is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is a reason to celebrate. It's a marriage card, a lot of stability coming through with this Four of Wands. So focus on the type of relationships that you want. The harmony, the balance, enjoying each other's company. I am getting the Four of Pentacles, building a solid foundation. These two fours do indicate a lot of stability. So focus on stabilizing these relationships in whatever way that means. Maybe it's making more time for them back in the 6th house. Maybe it's doing something else, the 5th house, enjoying hobbies together, spending time together in that way. I'm also getting the Three of Pentacles, working together to restore balance in the connection, overcome that Devil energy, release those restrictions so that all of you can have the relationships that you want. And then the last house here, so it's the 12th house. The 12th house is, it's considered a death house. There's a few of them, but the 12th house here, because it's the last one in the Zodiac, it really does speak to your subconscious. All things spiritual are part of that. Your spiritual self, your spiritual knowing, intuition definitely being highlighted here. Think of it as retreating from society, retreating from the public at large, even your own family, even within your own house, whatever time that you need to spend on your own, that's the 12th house. Aries for you is the ruler of that house. And so Aries energy is very independent. It's willful. It's very dynamic in that way. It's the Emperor. And so not surprised to see that in the 12th house, that if you want to spend time on your own, you're going to structure your life in a way that says, yes, I'm going to spend time on my own. I need to rest and recover just like everybody else. I need to kind of focus on my instincts or intuition, whatever the case may be. So let's get the theme here for your 12th house, all things hidden. Okay. So what I'm getting here is the King of Cups. The King of Cups, a lot of emotional intelligence and maturity. 8 of Cups, walking away from something. So when it comes to you removing yourself from society, This indicates you're going to be spending a lot of time working on yourself and your emotions, and some sort of strength within your emotions that allows you to be more grounded and balanced in all of these areas of your life. I'm getting the Two of Cups, which is a card of balance, but could also be about love and romance. And so if here you're interested in romance or kind of deepening a connection with somebody, you're going to spend the time that you need on your own in order to make sure it's successful. Because I'm also getting the Three of Pentacles. So Two of Cups, Three of Pentacles, building something here with another person requires you to really focus on yourself. Gain whatever emotional knowledge and strength that you need in order to make this successful. Because I'm getting the Six of Wands as well. And so that is a card of success. It's overcoming obstacles and challenges. So let's get the obstacles and challenges here. You have all major cards coming out. So I'm getting the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy, growth and expansion. You need to work through limitations. Wounds were coming up earlier in the reading. And so wherever that wound exists, what you're going to be doing here is really spending the time that you need in order to heal from that wound so that you can move forward in a happy, healthy relationship and really find that balance within yourself, allowing for growth and expansion to take place in your life. The Emperor is coming through. The Emperor can indicate, well, it's Aries energy. You might be a little bit stubborn and a little bit resistant to doing something about it, but ultimately you will. Judgment card, this is a resurrection energy, so that very clear final decision, rising again. And then Page of Cups, so you can go after what you want here. So it feels like more the block is spending the time that you need, releasing whatever this wound is that showed up earlier in the reading. I don't exactly remember what house it was, but something about letting go, leaning into all the change and transformation, because what it's doing is it's creating space for emotional growth, emotional stability and growth in context of a union. So let's get the advice here for you in the 12th house. So what I'm getting is the Six of Swords. So this is a moving on energy. This is really leaning into the change and transformation, letting go of anything here that is holding you back, anything that is preventing growth, emotional growth, growth within various areas of your life, the 5th house, the 6th house, the 7th house, whatever it is, letting go of the past. Page of Pentacles, making space and planning for the future here. The Magician, manifesting your goals and dreams. 7 of Wands, fighting for those goals and dreams, really doing everything that you can to make those real. Very, very positive energy with your 12th house. So to close out the reading, let me see anything else you need to know about the second half of the year. So Temperance energy coming through, Sagittarius. This is a lot of emotional balance. After a period of transformation, that Death card is showing up here again. And so whatever's being removed from your life, whatever this transformation is, lean into it. It's removing anything that is preventing your happiness. It's preventing any kind of an emotional stability within yourself. 5 of Cups is showing up here as well. And that's what the Death card is doing. It's getting you out of a negative mindset. This kind of survival versus thrive mentality is going to be shifting, getting you into a more positive mindset, getting you to focus on what it is that you want to accomplish, not maybe anything that you've lost here. And so again, lean into the change, allow the endings to occur, because in its place is a lot of emotional balance and you going after what you want. So Taurus, this is your reading. I hope it resonates. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.